Yeah, welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Reviews and reactions. Let's go. It's the Brown Boy Wonder. Hold it down, representing for the culture. Every episode brings you closer into the mind and the heart of a hustler, where the truth and the groove collide. Stay tuned in, come enjoy the ride. Keep it authentic like that, never hold back. It's the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. The Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Subscribe, share, and stay tuned in. The vibe's always on.
Let's watch a Disney Channel original movie. Brown Boy Wonder Podcast presents Disney Rewatch.
Welcome to the Disney Rewatch edition of the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Every month, of course, my guests and I are going to rewatch and talk about our favorite Disney Channel original movies. Today, we're going to talk about the Disney Channel original movie 2000's Up, Up, and Away, my favorite. Before we get into it, let me introduce my guest. My first guest, he likes to fly. It is Daniel. Daniel, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Right now is not a great time to be flying, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I guess.
Oh, because the planes fall out of the sky?
We've had like 3 crashes in 10 days. Like, it's not a good time to be flying.
Oh, shoot. Excuse me. I'm talking about like, you fly.
No, I knew what you meant.
Okay. We got it. Well, of course, let me give my second guest here. He usually changes his clothes in the bush. It is Skyler. Skyler, how are you doing today?
I'm leaving this podcast. I'm leaving this episode. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not
Look,
doing this with you. I've got
the
my own show where
You're
these
the
things
steel
don't
condor
happen.
now.
Well, someone did it in this movie. I feel like you did it as well. So how are you doing, man?
You just say that on the internet. That's just out there now. And it's just untrue. Untruths about me.
Okay. Well, of course, we were talking about Up, Up, and Away, my favorite movie. I do have a question for you guys.
Your favorite movie, period? Just flat out.
Oh,
This is your favorite
So
movie.
you like this better than Johnny Tsunami?
I'll say it's my number 2. I haven't ranked them yet, but I would put them as my number 2 out of the DComs.
Okay.
But yes.
Well, when you requested us as the group, all of your friends, you're like, who wants to watch Up, Up, and Away? Nearly everybody said no. And then you were like, please, come on. Somebody watch it with me. And then I was one of the idiots that felt bad for you and was like, all right, fine.
It wasn't the...
And I'm going to bring that energy into this episode. I'm going to warn you now. Anytime that you're like, do you recognize this actor? I'm going to say no.
No.
I'm going to keep moving.
Unless it's George Jefferson.
Yeah, unless it's Mr. Jefferson.
Well, I understand
or the
where
kid that
you're
played
coming from.
Randy.
Oh, hey, that's my favorite character in this movie.
No, it is not.
He did this. We'll get into it towards the end of the movie. He does this crazy thing, and I love it. But my question is, my question is, if you guys had superpowers, what would it be? Very simple question.
I've always had the same answer to this since I was like maybe 12 years old.
Mhm.
My power of choice would be to stop time.
Ooh.
Because you get up, you stop time, you go back to sleep.
Oh.
You're not
So
going to be late, and you get your extra sleep.
I feel like not to jump you. I feel like that's one of those powers where it's kind of the same as like being able to see through stuff. Where it's like if you say that, people are going to assume that you're going to use it for nefarious purposes.
Well, no. What kind of? I mean,
Clark Kent used it for nefarious purposes on accident when he fell off that rope in Smallville.
I mean, what nefarious things would I do with stopping time? I would like.
There's a whole tag for it on hentai sites.
Okay, well, you've taken us there now.
Look, All right.
Oh,
You know what?
all-
I'm gonna be here. I'm just not gonna talk for the rest of this episode. But I'll be
That is-
here.
Okay. No, that
But I'm
sounds
just
good.
not gonna-
What about you, Daniel? What is your what is the superhero you want?
I think about this a lot throughout my life. It's changed because originally, when I was a kid, I was like, I think it'd be cool to have like fire powers or ice powers and just be able to do like, because I think when you're a kid, you're like, I want to fight crime, but I don't really want to do that because that sounds awful. So I think in my now 30-year-old life, I think the thing that would be most cool to have would be the ability to remove or bestow like health or diseases. So if somebody was like, I've got cancer, like you can cure that. But then also someone's like, hey, I parked in a handicapped parking spot and I'm not handicapped. Then you give that person's cancer to them.
Oh,
So it's like
that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Harley Quinn did it, and we all thought it was funny. All right.
Yeah, she did.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to melt people.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's
Just straight up. Just like you cut me off in traffic, melted.
oh,
My weird neighbor's looking at me strange, and he
Melted.
looks at my friends with a little racist gaze. Melted.
yeah.
Done.
And you
Easy.
had a neighbor who did that too.
Every day I drove past his fat ass, I would say, "I'm gonna melt you one
I'm
day."
gonna melt you one day.
And you know what? I don't have that neighbor anymore. I'll
Oh,
leave it at that.
Was he melted? Yes or no? Impossible to tell. I'll let the
impossible to
courts
tell.
decide.
You can't stick that to me
Yeah.
because
You
as
can't
far
stick
as,
things to him.
as far as you know, melting people isn't real.
True.
The fuck are we talking about?
But no, I think it'd be cool to be able to like I also think about it in the terms of like if you ever read the Aragon books, they were able to like take energy from nature and use it to do spell casting basically. And so
Yeah.
I always think about like what if I saw a really old person or something and I could just like take 30 years of life out of a tree and give it to them instead so they could like have some time back, I think that'd be so cool.
that'd be very generous.
Well,
I like
I mean, I'd use it on me too, but yeah.
Oh,
Abrar, I know what power you should have.
what?
I'm gonna give you this power. All right, this is the one
Oh.
you get.
Okay.
You can communicate in full conversations with anyone you see on the television, fictional or not.
Oh,
So you're watching Up and Away. You could be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Randy, what's up?" And Randy's gonna do a little dance for you. Or
You do a little
you're
dance.
watching The Dark Knight, and you can yell at Alfred, and he'll talk back to you.
Yeah,
that's a
but
good.
when you start
I-
yelling at the Jets, they'll all start yelling back at you.
Yeah, you could tell Aaron Rodgers what you really think of him. It works for live television as well. Although
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is gone, maybe.
He is officially gone. I'm happy. Let's
Who are they
rebuild
gonna- What
forever.
are they going to get for a quarterback? Are they going to have to draft one?
Doesn't
matter.
This is not
We'll
the
have
podcast for this. It's fine.
No.
We'll talk about it some other time.
But yeah, okay. I like that power. Thank you, Skyler. Because
I was originally thinking that like you could pull any character out of the television and have them
Yeah.
be in real life with you, and I thought that was way too much power to give you.
Yeah, I don't
that-
trust.
that
I
would
don't trust
go
anybody
very
with
bad.
that.
that's a little too much.
You would
But yeah,
you would pull out like Genghis Khan from Night at the Museum, and he'd run around your house and chase you. And you don't want
I'd-
that.
I don't
You
want.
pull out the really long fat guy from Dune.
Oh no, it was Attila the Hun, not Genghis Khan. I thought that
Hmm.
matters. You talking about Baron Harkonnen?
I'm talking about
He float around your ceiling.
Biggie Skarsgårdian.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness. Well, I like that power because I usually reference everything what I see on television, and
Yeah.
I wish
And
they
then
talked
when your
back to me.
When your friends are mean to you, you can go home and you can put on Power Rangers in space, and then those Power Rangers are like, "Don't worry, bro, we still like you," and you can cry.
I like that because I always want.
It's basically just free cameos.
Well, no, nothing in the power says that they have to like you or listen to you or be nice to you.
Oh,
So
that's true. Well,
So
as long Andros talks to me, the Red Ranger, I'll be fine.
yeah,
Wow,
But,
you got a cameo of Rick Devens for me, and he was not nice.
No, he was rude to you. I apologize.
That was very funny.
Who was that? Was that the
That's the
Survivor
guy who said your fantasy football team was bad?
He did. And I was upsetty about it.
Well, he was right. He cursed
Hey,
you.
man. I did all right.
You did it right. Of course, this movie was directed by Robert Townshend, who's the main cast member in this movie. Of course, I do not have. He directed it.
No. That can't be true.
It is true. I usually ask this question about the budget and the box office, all that. Again, I don't have that information, and I won't ask you that question.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it doesn't look like it had that high of a budget. I mean, they made the people's weakness tinfoil.
We'll get into that. But let's get into the cast here. Of course, we got. I'm not gonna say the rest of.
It was the dad, you liar.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Director was
The
the
dad.
father. I said it was the kid. You said
No,
the main cast member.
Yeah, the main. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. The dad. The main caster's dad. Excuse me.
Well, that's a little bit more believable.
Thank you. Imagine he directed it. But yeah, let's get to the cast here. I won't say the superhero name, but I'll just say the normal names here. Of course, we got
I won't
the kid.
know who we're talking about.
No, don't worry. We'll get into them as we get into the movie.
I think you'd be better off saying the superhero name instead of the real name.
Okay, I'll say that.
Yeah.
The kid, the main kid in this movie is Michael J. Pagan as Scott Marshall. We got Robert Shedd, the dad, Jim Marshall, aka Bronze Eagle. And we got Alex Thatcher as Judy Marshall, aka Warrior Woman. We got our George Jefferson, Sherman Hemsley as Edward Marshall or Steel Condor. And Condor. And we also got Kason Butcher as Adam Marshall, the brother of the main guy, Silver Charge, and the rest. We'll get into that later. Let's get into this movie here.
You skipped the most important guy here, probably.
Oh, who?
The entourage guy.
Oh, where is he? His name is Kevin. Kevin Connolly as Malcolm.
Malcolm. Yeah.
Malcolm in the
The
middle.
bad guy was Entourage.
There you go.
If you watch Entourage, they're all the bad guy.
I think so.
Our take.
I
But
never
all right.
watched Entourage.
I've seen the clips.
Okay. It's a little sus. Go on.
But what's your initial thoughts of this movie? Do you guys watch
Wait
it
a
the first
minute.
time?
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm taking us off the rails, but that's what the show's for, right?
Yes.
This Entourage guy from this movie, Up and Away, Kevin Connolly, he directed the 2018 Gotti movie with John Travolta.
Oh, that's the worst movie.
He directed it.
Oh, he deserves to be a bad guy in this movie then.
Wow, that's so awesome. We need to watch that movie now. You and me need to watch Gotti.
Oh,
Gotti.
as long as I'm left out of it, you guys go ahead.
That's fine. I'll watch it. Maybe for horror movies.
Is it gaudy like gaudy? Like ugly?
No, Gotti like the crime guy. Like
Gandhi, the one who turned out to be a pedophile.
No.
What kind of accusations are you saying?
That's real. That's not an accusation. That was proven.
No, Gandhi is a racist guy. That is true.
Gandhi was
But,
Ben Kingsley.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. But yeah,
I'm talking about John Gotti, the mafia guy.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know if he was a pedophile. He's dead.
Well,
So
he got what was coming to him?
I guess.
I don't know.
No.
But you guys watched this for the first time, I believe. Up and away.
Nah,
Was there?
I thought I had. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You said we're gonna watch Up and Away. I said I've never heard about that in my life. And then I got about 20 minutes in. He started up. He put the disc in and started spinning the little logo. And I was like, oh, I have seen this actually. I remember this.
Oh, okay. What was your thoughts for this movie initially?
I understand why I forgot about it, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. I think it is pretty like middle of the road. I mean, we'll talk about it more by the end of it, I'm sure. But I think there's a couple of things it does good and a couple of things. There's nothing I think it does bad. I think it's just overall kind of like eh.
You want me to say my thoughts now?
Well,
You sure? You sure?
Okay, hold your thoughts, Skyler, because I know you watched this for the first time. Just tell me.
Okay. I'll say this.
Okay.
It genuinely may have not been my first time. I don't know. It's entirely possible that I watched this as a kid. This came out in 2000.
2000.
It's entirely possible that it came on and I watched it. I have no memory of it. Parts of it seem like vaguely familiar. And that's all I got for you right there. Until you want me to say what I thought of this movie.
No, we'll get into that towards the end. But let's get into the plot here. This movie starts out with a group of activists known as the Earth Protectors. Have been giving out CDs about the environment to Scott's classmates. But while the creator of the program, Nina, wants to use the CDs to help to educate the people of the environment, her partner, Malcolm, sees the program as a means to brainwash the entire world into giving him what he wants. What do you guys think about these two characters here?
I honestly hadn't started paying attention to the movie yet. I'll be real with you. It's just like, yeah, these guys. I genuinely didn't read them as necessarily bad guys because I wasn't paying attention to anything they were saying. And I was like, all right, is this going to give somebody superpowers? What's going to happen here? And then it turns out they wanted to brainwash kids.
Yeah.
So that's probably bad. Like
they should have just made a Roblox, and it would have made them way more money.
True. They could have made Roblox.
They could have made Roblox.
They could have made Fall Guys.
Yeah, but Fall Guys came out and then like didn't pop off for a long time until streamers found it. So that's like a long man's game.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with Among Us, actually.
Yeah,
it's popular. We see Scott Marshall, our main kid here, enjoying breakfast with his family. Scott's friend Randy shows up with a suspicious aluminum foil, although Randy says it's zucchini bread, and the family doesn't believe them.
Do you like zucchini bread?
I think I tried it once. I don't remember the taste.
You're lying. You never tried it.
Yeah, I never in my life have heard of zucchini bread.
Oh, it's real.
Banana bread? 100%. Zucchini bread? What are we doing?
Just like a vegetable bread loaf. It's real. People do it.
I don't want to meet the people who do it.
Leave
your zucchini bread recipes in the chat so I know not to follow you.
Well, we might have to try after this episode here, just for giggles.
I would eat it. I'm not opposed.
I can't because the tinfoil will hurt me. So
yes.
It's aluminum foil. It's a different alloy.
They're all terrified. And Randy puts it on the table and went to school with Malcolm, and everyone was starting to stare at the aluminum foil. On the way to school, Randy says Scott's family is crazy, and Scott made a bet with Rosie, the neighbor, that can't kick with a soccer ball. She missed and hits Randy. Does Randy deserve that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't yet, but by the end of the movie, I don't feel bad for him.
Well, how do you guys like the friendship between Malcolm and Randy? They look like buds.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? The kid that plays Randy, I'll say I did recognize. He's in Freddy vs. Jason. He's a
teenager, right?
Well, at that point, yes, he was one of the many teenagers in that movie. He's in. If you've ever seen the movie Fanboys, it's a bunch of Star Wars nerds drive across the country to break into George Lucas's house to steal episode 1.
That's the What If It's Bad movie.
Yeah. And he's the guy in that movie that has cancer and is dying, and that's why they decide to do it. They steal it for him.
No. I haven't seen that movie, but that sounds very sad.
If you're a teenager and you watch it, you're like, this is the funniest thing ever. If you're almost 30 years old and you rewatch it, you're like, okay.
So it's like a Dane Cook comedy special.
Oh, Dane Cook is not. I feel like Dane Cook was never funny to me.
He was funny to me, and I regret that stage of my life.
I can only remember one Dane Cook bit from his stand-up, and it's like him talking about going to the movies with a date.
Oh, with the sticky floor.
Yeah, the sticky floor, and then you're looking for your date, and then there's just some woman in the front row staring at you, waiting for you to find your seat. And I feel like Abrar can relate to that.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think
a
he's
little
lived
bit.
that.
Maybe. Well, back to Marshall's residence. Jim and Judy, the parents of Scott, buries the zucchini bread over with aluminum in the ground in their backyard. And Jim says, "Man, I really like zucchini bread."
Yeah, I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
This is too extra. I don't even
Yeah, it's
think they
way
need to
too
do
much.
This. They could have
put it in the trash.
at the point that he put it in the trash can to bury the trash can. It's like, dude, just put it in your neighbor's trash or something. Like, get rid of it. Like, why are you doing this?
It's a weakness. You gotta bury it really hard.
If it was a rare mineral or something, like if it's kryptonite, which it's kind of
That's the
posited
joke.
to be, then like it makes sense to bury it. Especially if it's kryptonite, because that has sort of like an area of an effect.
Right.
Where it seems like the tin foil, it seems like it has to like
Only
be
if you touch
touching
it. Yeah.
But then also, because you're right, it's not tin foil; it's like it's aluminum foil.
Yeah.
So then it brings up a lot of questions. Where it's like, is it something specifically about the foil of it? Because there's a lot of things made out of aluminum. Like, can they not play baseball? Because the baseball bats are made out of aluminum.
They could play with wood bats.
Yeah.
But they're superheroes, so they splinter the bats all the time.
See, so you just can't play baseball.
They don't.
Vampires, yes. Superheroes, no. That's the rules of baseball.
Not for these guys. We see the Earth Protector, Malcolm, as a special guest at Scott's school, telling everyone to recycle and be better people for the environment. He goes to his truck with his other coworkers plotting to rob a bank.
Why is this the way he chose to test this out?
Just straight up try to rob the bank.
Like when you see people in movies who are trying things like this out, they'll test it out in a smaller thing. They'll be like, let me see if I can convince this person to give me his pen. Let me see if I can convince this person. Like, they even do it in this movie in a minute where they like get the kids to wear blue. That's a nonchalant thing where it's like, if it doesn't work, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
But your first thing of testing it on adults is like, what if we rob a bank?
You'd think that the testing it on the kids in the school would be like, that's the first part, and then you move on to just robbing banks. But
yeah, well, but the what's her name says that it doesn't. It's different for adults or something because brains.
I guess it did wear off on them, so maybe they tried to do it on the bank people, and they're like, "Oh no, it didn't work that great," and then they moved on to just trying to get kids to steal money out of their parents. Well, spoilers. Let's continue.
Well, he tries at first to brainwash the bank staff into giving all the money, but since the program is only for kids, when one of the Malcolm's henchmen sneezes, the staff snaps out of it and calls security.
It's basically everything we just said. So
Yeah.
it's like, why the fuck did they do it like this? And the movie's like, this is how it happened. It's like, all right, fine. Get a pass this time, movie.
Yeah. Well, while Jim is driving Scott and his friends to the soccer game, he gets a page from the police and pretends he got something wrong with his car. As the coast is clear, Jim changed his clothes in the bush into the Bronze Eagle. Oh, he did. Thoughts on this look of Bronze Eagle?
I think overall, I think we should just talk about all the costumes in general.
Yeah.
They don't look great.
The family. They're cheap. It's what you'd expect from this movie. What was the budget of this movie? Thank you for not asking us, by the way. Do we know?
No, he said he didn't have the information. That's why he
no
didn't.
Information.
See, I wasn't listening. Yeah, the quality of these suits are somewhere between like a PBS special with a superhero and a porn parody of a superhero movie. It's somewhere in between there. Which is to say, not great, but for what it is, sure. I think you could redo the Bronze Eagles suit for 2025, and you could come up with something kind of neat.
Well, he kind of looks like Night Owl from Watchmen.
There's a bit of Night Owl there, a
Yeah.
little bit of Hawkman.
Yeah.
I just don't like how all the because there's the like rubbery mask and a couple little bits like that.
Yeah.
What I don't like is that the clothes underneath appear to just be like Cole's like athleisure wear. Like none of it looks like anything.
Like a ski suit or something.
Yeah. But like just the base layer.
Yeah, I think it's not just like this is our superhero costume budget, it's very small, make it work. I think it's also we need something that these actors can get in and out of very quickly. We don't want to have them spending we don't even want them to be in the makeup trailer for an hour. We want it to be done very fast. Get them on the set, let's film our shit, and let's leave. That's what I would guess. I will say I like the Bronze Eagle suit better than the Warrior Woman one. Hers is really nothing.
She looks like Robin, especially with the mask, at least.
Yeah, a little bit.
She looks like the Batman Forever Robin a little bit. Is that what you mean? Like that kind of...
Yeah, kind of like that.
I can understand what you're saying there. I think it's just the fact that like he's Bronze Eagle, so his mask has eagle's wings on it, and then hers is just she's vaguely kind of Wonder Woman-y.
I know.
We just put her in red to accent his blue, and we didn't really put much more thought into it other than that.
I just think Warrior Woman is the worst name out of all these names here.
What was the name? Do you remember? So obviously, as far as like Disney live action kids superhero films go, people compare this to Sky High. Yeah.
Yeah. This is definitely worse than Sky High.
I'm gonna say I like Sky High better than this, but but to be fair, Sky High was an actual like theatrical film.
Yeah. Much higher budget, even though
what was the name of the mom in Sky High? What was her superhero name?
I don't remember.
Kurt Russell was the commander. Jetstream.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why was wasn't his logo like a castle tower or something? The dad?
The commander. Yeah, or like a shield.
I guess maybe a shield.
It looked kind of like a rook tower, but I think it's supposed to be a shield.
Well, this movie came first and then Sky High, so
I know. I'm not saying it didn't. What I'm saying is I think the Commander and Jetstream are cooler names.
I agree. It's better than Warrior Woman.
Bronze Eagle's fine. It's not great, but it's fine.
Yeah, and then the fact that his dad's name is Steel Condor, it's like a generational thing.
Yeah.
We're birds. Metal and a bird.
Yeah, and the great grandpa was called Millennium Falcon.
Ooh, I like that.
That's good. I like that.
But no one's allowed to be named Aluminum something.
No.
Yeah. God no.
That's a villain.
Yeah.
The Aluminum Raven is like the Bizarro of
the Aluminum Shrew.
Oh, I like that.
Well, the Bronze Eagle's superpowers are super strength and flight. The Bronze Eagle arrived at the bank a little too late because the Warrior Woman, aka his wife, got it handled under control. We talked about Warrior Woman.
Bronze Eagle has super strength?
Super strength and flight.
She just has super strength then?
So Warrior Woman has superior hand-to-hand combat and super strength.
Okay.
But she also got that motorcycle go fast as hell.
That motorcycle does go very fast.
Really fast.
What do we ever actually see Bronze Eagle do anything? Like as far because she stops the crime here. She beats everybody up and then stops. Oh, he does have he stops the car. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give him that.
Well, both were arguing with each other while beating up the robbers. That was a funny bit. It's like a married couple. Yeah.
Yeah. But you could also tell that like the bad guys were like probably extras from a Power Rangers TV show because they were all doing like karate stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right.
Okay.
You're supposed to be like hacktivists. I don't know why you know kung fu also.
all bad guys know kung fu, especially in the '90s.
True.
Jim came back for Scott's soccer game, the dad, of course, and Scott's brother Adam, who came in the speed of light. Jim got worried that someone might see him, but Adam is like, they won't. They mentioned that Scott might not get his powers by Sunday, and
he did not just say, they won't see me. He said, anyone who sees me, I will use electrical currents to zap away their memories.
Mhm.
That's nefarious.
That's an older brother locker room talk, I'll say.
This is, I can see like, the story arc, the comic run where the older brother turns evil and Bronze Eagle has to fight and defeat his son, take his powers away because he was doing evil shit. Someone needs to stop this kid. He's dangerous.
Yeah, he's having fun.
He's having fun. I mean, look, I know that it's like a kid's movie, and so they didn't really think about it. But the idea, because he has electrical powers of some kind, and the idea that he can erase people's minds by zapping their brains is like, A, that's extremely dangerous just in general. And B, like, are we supposed to assume that he got it right his first try?
No.
No.
There's a reason Scott
how did
doesn't
he find out he could do that?
There's a reason Scott doesn't get powers in this.
Because he's been lobotomized.
Yeah.
Well, they're concerned that Scott might not get his powers and he might be normal after that Sunday. Well, back to the Earth Protectors. The next best thing for them is using the program to make the children to steal the parents' money, and they'll give it to them. What do you guys thought about that scene? At least, no. Excuse me. We'll get into that.
Okay.
Back to because they just talked about it. They just talked about it. No, they just talked about it. Excuse me. Back to the Marshall's residence. We see Scott's little sister using her heat vision to lit the barbecue up, and Adam setting up the table really fast.
The sister's a sociopath too. Both of the other kids are gonna become supervillains. That's their arc.
I want to say something here. Like, yes, he used his super speed to set the table, and yes, he did it faster than a normal human could.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he did it fast enough to warrant using the super speed. It took him like 4 or 5 seconds still.
That is true.
And he's like, and yeah, sure. He's watching something. He's watching a hockey game on TV or something. He's like, commercial. All right, zip. All right, it's done. But I was like, man, I felt like it reminded me of that bit of like he's not even going fast. He's just shaking his head.
He's just shaking his head.
Yeah, maybe he was just lazy when he was doing it. It took,
or maybe like seconds. When he's going really fast and he's pulling stuff out of the cabinet, sometimes he like accidentally rips the door off or something. So his mom's been yelling at him, so he had to slow down. You know, that's in the EU. You got to read the comic books to understand that, though.
That's in the Zack Snyder's Up and Away.
Yeah, the 3-hour version,
5 hour long. Zack Snyder's Up and Away. They get further into that.
Zach, if you can hear me now, do not touch this movie.
Zach, if you can hear me, do it.
Coward, but you won't.
You better not. Jim, the dad, walks into Scott's room, talking about the soccer game, an idea, and also talk about an idea for a superhero name, which the Destroyer, in which Scott didn't like. Scott asked a big question to his dad, which is, does anybody ever get their powers after the 14th birthday? Jim says no, but he still got 3 days to get it. Scott overhears his parents saying he might not get his powers. He's like really sad.
You know what I just thought of?
Yeah.
And I thought of this because this is basically the same exact scene that kicks off Sky High. Kurt Russell's in the room and he's like, "Don't worry, son, you're going to get your powers." And he's like, "Dad, what if I don't?" That basic thing.
Yeah.
Do you think this is in the same universe?
It can't be, because this is in the same universe. This is in some alternate universe where both Superman and Spider-Man exist.
Sky High never says Superman and Spider-Man don't exist. And, in fact, they specifically reference Wonder Woman at the end.
Yeah.
So...
It might be.
So
is it just like our main character here couldn't afford to go to Sky High?
He's not old enough yet.
Yeah, he's like 14. Well, what, ninth grade? What, you're like 15?
Ninth grade is like 14 years old.
If he's in high school,
technically
that's
high
what
school.
Sky High is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Maybe different. He's in a different state, right?
well,
Where's
is,
Sky High?
okay. You know what it
Impossible to
is.
know.
You know what it is. Sky High is like a private school.
It's like
right?
elitist, yeah.
Only the elite superheroes send their kids there, and it's in a certain part of the country. These like Commander and Jetstream look down on Bronze Eagle and Warrior Woman. They're they're C or D tier heroes.
Hmm.
It sounds very racial undertones.
That definitely does, doesn't it? If the
Yeah.
That's not great.
Commander's like Bronze Eagle, huh? Yeah, I bet. Not in my neighborhood. I
Wow.
don't know. You know what? I think I've talked myself out of wanting this to be in the same universe.
Yes.
I think I'd rather it not.
Well, Scott's grandparents arrived at Edward and Doris to meet Scott. Scott ripped the back door with ease, and it made it seem like he got super strength, but actually he rigged the back door to make it look like he got something. And
Took the
while
screws
he's
out.
making,
He
he's
like
making
took
everyone
the
proud.
pins out of the hinges on the door. But I know from experience that's loud as hell. Like there's no quiet way to do that.
Mm.
I don't want to poke holes in this movie for children, but that's what I'm gonna do.
They might just be stupid.
I mean, we know that they're stupid because they get tricked for basically the rest of this movie. So
By a soccer ball.
by a soccer ball.
Yes, that is the craziest thing, at least in this one. But don't worry. It looks like the parents and everyone else is proud of our guy here. Well, it's time for lunch at the family table here. The family is eating spinach for super strength. Scott, yeah,
So
yeah,
this is a little strange. So the bit is they all love vegetables.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
And, like,
greens.
Like their drinks are green, like it's like ground up vegetable juice. They're eating like tons of broccoli. They at one point the mom says like, "No more laser vision, or you don't get your broccoli ice cream." And
Which like
it's
gross, first of all. You think it has the little nodule, like the shaved bit of the broccoli just like in it?
Yeah.
Like
Ugh.
chocolate chips.
But like
Maybe.
not that they need to explain it, because like clearly the joke is because they're superheroes, they love their vegetables, and the vegetables make you strong. Like I
It's
think
like,
she does say like, eat your spinach, you have super strength to maintain. Something
Yeah,
like that. But
Uh,
it's just such an odd like bit not to like. You'd think you'd have a moment where Scott like has to explain to Randy or something like, we got to eat the vegetables because that's where our super strength comes from. Like you want to make that obvious for the kids watching.
yeah. But dude, there was so much green on that table. It looked
Dude.
disgusting.
I can't imagine what their bathroom smells like.
Oh,
bad.
oh my god! I never thought about that. They need a bidet.
Ooh.
Stop.
Well, Scott mentioned that his superpowers comes and goes, and will show off eventually. The grandma Doris mentioned that she had Spider-Man and Mary Jane over for dinner last night.
Mm.
What?
It's like, why are they
What
hanging out with this old lady?
What is Peter and Mary Jane doing at this old black couple's house?
They're
And,
just
and they're not in New York.
no.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They had
And
to
Spider-Man
travel-
can't like fly or anything.
No, they had to, and he can't afford like plane tickets. They probably
Yeah,
had
he's a
to like,
photojournalist.
take a Greyhound across the fucking country to get to wherever they are.
Maybe yes, Peter Parker likes Doris more than Mary
Well,
Jane.
She
Whoa,
did.
hey, whoa.
She did say. She did say. Does anyone know how to get webs out of your carpet?
Are you implying an extramarital arachnid?
I'm perhaps what Abrar is implying is there's some polyamorous shenanigans.
I don't
Uh,
think Steel Condor's holding up his end of the bargain on that.
Condor.
Well,
I
of course.
saw how long it took him to get them pants off. I don't think
This is
I don't
a
think he's
horrible,
helping.
horrible, cursed episode.
Those were terrible
worry.
pants too.
He smells like broccoli.
No.
Yeah, it smells like broccoli.
Of course, this is an explicit episode. Of course. Grandpa Edward Condor, of course, mentioned that Clark Kent stole his gimmick. I thought that was a great line there. Like, because Condor is older than Clark Kent.
Yeah,
I
It
don't
makes
think
sense
that's
that.
true.
No, true. I know. Forget it.
It's just it's so weird that like they wanted to be in the same. I guess you can just say it as long as you don't show them. You can just be like, yeah, I had Spider-Man over. But it's so weird that they were like, we're in both the Marvel and DC universe. Hit us up. It like, you know what it is? It feels like one of those movies where like someone's trying to pitch something to a studio to like turn it into something bigger than it is. You know what I mean? Like it's somebody's like vanity project, which would actually make sense because the one guy, the dad, is also the director, right?
Yes.
So it kind of almost feels like he's trying to like pitch it as a series and like
your
DC and Marvel pick up my thing.
If your vanity project turns into a Disney Channel original movie, that's a harsh awakening. No, I actually disagree. I think he was like, I'm going to make a cute little superhero movie for kids. Disney Channel said they're going to pick it up or whatever. And then he was like, what legally can I reference that doesn't cost any money? Like, for one reason or another, in the year 2000, he's like, okay, they said I can say Spider-Man. They said I can say Clark Kent. He doesn't know what Marvel and DC is. He has no idea that there's a difference. Not only is it because, like, this is 2000. Like, I'm not even sure that at 2000 I knew the difference, right? 5 years old or whatever it was.
Well, yeah.
But
we were bubbies.
It wasn't as popular as we know now.
This is just some like working actor who got a directing gig. He doesn't know the difference between Marvel and DC.
I feel like if you're making a superhero movie, you probably know more than the average person about superheroes, or should know.
No way, Jose. There's Spider-Man cartoons, which means his kid has a Spider-Man lunchbox, and he's like, "That's Spider-Man. He shoots webs." And then Superman's been in the serials and television since the fucking 1940s. He doesn't know. He watched the racist Mole Man serial.
Oh,
did.
And he's like, I understand. I know what Superman is, and so I'm gonna talk bad about him in my movie.
Yeah, go back to us ranking the Batman movies if you want to hear about that one.
Oh, please do. That was great. Molly, the little sister, mentioned that Scott tried to fly and everyone is shocked. Scott was like, yeah, I did that. Everyone wants him to see him fly. Scott is like, shit. Yeah, and he got to pretend.
It would have been so easy to just say like, yeah, because all she said was he tried. She didn't say that he did. He could have just been like, true. Yeah, but it didn't work.
Yeah, no, I still have the super strength though.
There we go. Well, he pretended to fly. He threw a soccer ball at the tree and said, up and away. Everyone looked outside in the sky and to see where he is. Scott feels guilty that he tricked his family in believing so, except Grandpa Edward. His face was like, Before Jim, the dad, tries to fly to get him, Scott pretends to land, and the family plans to celebrate the moment with ice cream. But Grandpa Edward Condor wanted to talk to Scott. Grandpa knew that all along that he was faking it. The grandpa promised Scott that he will tell everyone after he becomes a superhero after the party is over. Do you guys feel bad that not feel bad, but like, do you guys ever done that before, where you tricked your family but you feel guilty about it?
No,
or something like that.
The only time that I ever like did a big lie to my parents was when I was in elementary school. I took a bunch of like straight like flour and stuff out of the pantry, and I used it to mix up some fake vomit in sink to trick my mom into letting me out of school.
Oh.
And she called in. She told me, like, I watched her call the school and tell her that I wasn't coming in. And then later she went over to the pantry and I had spilled some of the flour and she was like, "Did you make fake puke?" And she was honestly more impressed than mad. She still makes fun of me for it a little bit though.
Oh, that's crazy.
Look, I got away with it too.
For me, so I always have to eat, at least in elementary school, I always have to eat bananas before getting to the bus. No, not in elementary.
Had to?
I had to eat, no, I had to drink milk, whole milk, and bananas.
Every
I always-
morning?
every morning, like in middle school or whatever, in elementary.
I'm hung up on had to, but go ahead.
They told me I was forced to, but I always gave my bananas to my friends in the bus.
Oh, so you didn't have to do it before because you're giving away the
no.
bananas.
So they dropped me to the bus stop, and I'm holding the bananas.
Bananas, plural.
Just two bananas.
They give you two
They want you to
bananas.
eat 2 bananas a day?
Every morning.
That's
So-
crazy. That's a lot of potassium. That's too much.
I'm a kid, but
But you'll never get sore muscles, that's for sure.
That's true. So I always hold them, and I just gave at least 2 or 1 to my friend in the bus because I didn't want to eat them all the time.
On his podcast, he's saying, this weird kid could give me bananas every day.
I think his name was AJ.
Well, did you ever tell your parents that you gave away your bananas?
Or
Or would you
I
be
think
homeless right now if they did that? If you said that?
no, I think
Go tell him right now.
I think I got caught because I think I put the 2 bananas in my backpack and I forgot to give to my friend. And then when I think my mom checked my bag, he's like, "You didn't eat your bananas." I was like, "Nope,
Say I didn't feel good.
no, there's no excuse. I have to eat those bananas."
Oh, she said, "Eat them, eat them now." She
Eat
did
'em
the
now.
she did the thing when not that I don't think any of us have personally experienced this, but like back in the 70s or the 80s, if a kid's caught smoking cigarettes, the dad's like, "All right, you're gonna smoke this entire carton of cigarettes
Oh.
now," and then it makes you sick and you vomit unfiltered stuff, right?
Oh,
So your dad finds like, "Bro, you didn't eat your bananas, so now," and he pulls out a whole crate. You're
Oh,
gonna eat
God.
this entire crate of bananas right now in front of me.
That's too much.
I didn't know about the Abrar forced to eat bananas arc of your life. I need to
That's crazy.
hear more about this.
No, that was bananas, and I also had to drink the whole milk before I left the house.
Yeah.
If you're eating 2 whole bananas, how much milk is it forcing you to drink? Is it like
just
2
1 cup.
glasses? Oh,
No,
okay,
just like
my
1
bad.
cup. But like
Milk
it's
is
in the
fine,
morning.
whatever.
You don't want to eat anything in the morning. You just want to.
That's when breakfast happens, bro. People eat in the morning.
Yeah, were you
that's
eating
true.
something else? This
No, I
this
didn't-
podcast is nobody's listening at this point. I hope.
No, I didn't eat
Yeah, you're
anything.
gonna cut this whole thing, so now I can just interrogate you.
No, I think that was my breakfast. It was milk and like bananas. I don't know.
What a
Every
way to-
day,
what a
every
way to
day you had
grow
milk
up.
and bananas. You never once had like a Pop-Tart or a frozen waffle.
Not every day.
Or
There
a
were,
damn
certain,
toaster
there were
strudel.
days during Ramadan where they didn't let them even eat the
Oh,
bananas.
I guess that is true.
No, I got to fast. No, I when I was a kid, I didn't fast.
But you better believe the second the sun went down, they gave them those goddamn bananas.
Oh,
It's
man.
10 o'clock. Eat your bananas.
Oh, jeez. No, I didn't.
Now I'm picturing your childhood home, you and your brother and your sister and your parents, and it's like this movie with all the broccoli and spinach. It's just bananas,
Yeah, exactly. Because
like your Donkey Kong.
Oh, exactly. Because I have to go to the living room. I had to sit down. I had to drink the milk. I had my backpack ready. And before I left, here's 2 bananas. And I got into my dad's car, waited in there. When the bus came, I held my 2 bananas and I walked to the bus.
How long did this go on? When did they stop making
This
you
wa-
eat bananas in the morning?
This was like 3rd grade to like 7th grade.
Third grade. Wow.
It's a long time. It's a lot of bananas.
Also, 3rd grade seems like an arbitrary time just to like decide, like, you know what a bro needs every day. Every day
Before
of his
that, it
life,
was apples.
whether he wants it or not. Two bananas and a glass of whole milk.
That's way too
Anyway, I
good,
hope
man.
you cut this whole thing. Otherwise, you're going to
No,
have to retitle the
I-
episode
I hope
of
you-
Brar's banana thing.
I hope you upload this separately as the banana rant.
Yeah.
No, I will make a clip out of it for sure.
Okay.
But okay, let's get back to the story here. One day, after Scott is almost late for school due to being mesmerized by the
There you go.
software, Jim gets suspicious about the Earth protectors and decides to take Adam with him to the bank so he can use his powers to make the computer system to bring back the computers back up. The Earth Protectors program. What was your guys' thoughts when it got I guess
like hypnotized.
yeah,
So you know that face he makes, and he makes it many times throughout this movie, where the thing comes on, his mouth just kind of like slacks, and he just kind of like stares all loopy at the.
yeah.
I was like, that's the face Abrar's making right now watching this movie.
Dude, I love this movie. I can't argue with that. I think I did make that face. Well, we get an appearance of Adam's costume as the Silver Charge. Thoughts on this look?
It looks a little bit better than the other ones because it is just like a flight cap and goggles.
Yeah. So there's this weird effect on his on the head cap of his whatever, his cowl, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it has like blinking lights. I don't really understand why those are there. If those weren't there, if it was just like the brown leather all the way across his head, this looks like an outfit from the early generations of Watchmen from the Watchmen comics.
Ooh.
Like he could have been a Watchman.
I could see that, yeah.
But then they gave him a blinky head for some reason I don't really get. And then he blew up that computer.
He did.
He did. That's what he does to people's brains too.
Allegedly.
Why did he blow up the computer? He was like, "Don't worry, I got this," and he blew it up. Well, just let your dad log on.
No, he thought he could. He thought he could do it, but
what did he think he was going to? Did he think he was going to absorb the data, the information through his electrical currents?
Something like that. I can't explain that.
His dad said, "Take a look," and he was like, "All right," and he blew it up. I don't know what he was trying to do there.
Well, his are superhuman speed and electrical and magnesium distribution.
I'm sure that says magnetic.
Excuse me, magnetic.
I still don't see. I think both electrical and magnetism would both equally fuck up a computer, so I don't know why that would be the power you would use there.
Well, back to his look. I always thought he looked like. Well, now looking at it now, it kind of reminds me of the fish from Shape of Water, because of his goggle eyes.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna stop you right there. What you meant to say was Abe Sapien from Hellboy.
Thank you.
Because he actually has goggles.
That's the same character as far as I'm concerned. That's the same guy. He just doesn't have his goggles in Shape of Water.
There you go.
It's an origin story.
Oh, huge one.
Abe Sapien would not eat a cat.
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, maybe, we all live and grow.
I agree. Bananas. Unfortunately, he gets overexcited at the thought that he could finally help his parents to save the day. But of course, as we've seen, he overloads the power of the computers and he destroys all the information that they might recover. Back to Malcolm, the evil guy, continues to use his program to use for personal gain by giving the kids chocolate cravings, making them all wear blue. Adam talks to Scott about the weird stuff happening. Rosie throws something at Scott, but Adam catches it and becomes weakened by the ball of aluminum foil. He gets mad at Scott and says that aluminum foil is the one thing that screws up our molecular structure. Too much of it can kill us.
Which I gotta say, if it was just like, oh, it's kryptonite, it hurts us. Sure, whatever. It messes up our molecular structure, or whatever. I remember, I don't know the exact words he used, but the implication is that it unravels their DNA, and that's not okay.
That's why he buried that ball. Yeah,
it takes the super out of them.
It sounds like it's doing a little bit more than that.
A little bit, yeah. We get a scene of Jim teaching Scott how to fly. Great bonding moment here. He dropped his son up in the air, but don't worry, he caught him.
This reminded me of Invincible.
Oh, the on Prime?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Is that what happened?
No.
Well, okay.
You've never seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I only watched season 1. I didn't watch the others.
Wait, was he learning in this way, just like trying to fly, but he falls down?
He goes flying with his dad. That's why it reminded me of it.
Oh, okay, okay,
It didn't need to stop the episode in its tracks. We can keep going.
Well, they arrive at the soccer game. Jim talks to Judy that it looked like Scott never flew before. Yeah, you should ask a question to Scott. But we're at Scott, the newest superhero party. There are a lot of superheroes here. Jim says he will announce him to the party as the Warrior Eagle. Is that a great name for him?
No. And I think he should also be allowed to pick his own name.
I agree. He gave him the idea of Destroyer, but that's not a good name either.
No, that's not a hero name.
Didn't he say it was like that sounds like a wrestler name?
Yeah, the Destroyer, yeah. It does though. Well, Scott took his oath and he tries to tell his dad the truth, but he's like, okay, I do to become the superhero as Warrior Eagle. Malcolm got the success, the bad guy, over to his head because once the Earth Protection Program is fully developed, so it will work just as well on the adults, just as the kids. Malcolm blows up their warehouse with Nina inside. Everyone in the party got the message about the burning building, and everyone wants the Warrior Eagle, the new hero, to help her. He pretended to say up and away, and he got onto his bike.
To the soccer ball again, and it worked again, and there was way more people here.
He's pretty good at that.
Yes.
I couldn't tell all those heroes in that party. Do you guys? Is there anyone that stand out?
Not really.
There's a guy with a long, stretchy arm.
Yeah.
There's a guy with huge ears.
There's the ghosts.
Yes.
There's two people like right by the camera who are translucent.
Which, by the way, that stretchy arm was one of the most disgusting things I think I've ever seen.
It's not good. Scott tries to save her, but they both almost end up getting killed, but they're saved by his father.
Is what?
Is Faja, who was told by his girlfriend, who discovers Scott's ruse, that he is not a super-powered hero. They are saved, but Scott drops his mask in the process. They gave the top, yeah.
The emblem on his chest just says "we," and I know that stands for Warrior Eagle, but it just says "we."
Just says we. Oh, it's like the Women Network, WE.
Oh, I was thinking "We the People."
Oh, Jack Swagger. Is that culture?
Well, no, not that.
It just doesn't really make sense because like Warrior Woman and Bronze Eagle, like they have their own logos. It's not the letters of their name on their thing. So just putting WE on there is like we couldn't think of something.
They picked everything for this kid.
We couldn't just like
this is
do like
real,
a bird with a sword or something.
This is real middle child syndrome.
Yes.
Like he's forced to. Everything's forced upon him.
Well, Bronze Eagle, the dad, and Warrior Woman, the mother, gave the talk to Scott about lying. But they said they love him no matter what, power or no power. Scott's friends made... what was this? Oh, Scott's friends made fun of this, Warrior Eagle, new hero.
Specifically Randy.
Yes, his friend. Yeah, I see why you don't like Randy here. I see it. At least for this scene.
He gets very annoying. I was very much done with Randy by the end of this movie.
Yes. Well, we get a scene of all the kids getting hypnotized and stealing the money of their parents' wallets. The next morning, fortunately, Scott's sister uses her extra vision to discover the money is in his backpack. He tries to tell his parents that he didn't know that it was stolen money. Oh, he stole the money, but they are still sus. The parents ground him and said no soccer.
Also not a fan of this sister, by the way.
Yeah, she tells on
Such a little narc. Like she's going around, she's like melting neighborhood cats and stuff with her fucking freak vision. But
she's burning her Barbies. She's melting her brother's shoes. Like I'm telling you, this is a villain origin story.
I see it. Yeah.
they're gonna turn Scott into a villain.
Yeah, he's gonna be the Lex Luthor here.
Oh, jeez. The bad guys at the moment, Malcolm and Nina finds the match of the mask that she took, and it matches with Scott. Malcolm then sends a super strong version of the program to Scott during school, and he tells him everything about his family. Again, Malcolm is also a really bad guy. He's doing all of this, and he might be the worst. He might be worse than Pat, the smart house lady.
Oh yeah, Pat wasn't evil.
No.
He just didn't know how to, she wanted to be a mom, and and then she turned good by the end. This Malcolm guy, he sucks.
Okay, he's worse than Val in Brink.
Yeah, Val was a douche. This guy's a terrorist, so
yeah,
I agree. This guy's worse. For ranking I tell you, the villains.
This guy, what he reminded me of. This is going to be a very specific poll. He reminded me of the person running the campaign for Coney 2012.
Oh, that guy.
The guy with his hand in his pants?
Yeah.
Well, it was more than that. But yeah, because he's like, hey, he has this idea, and it's a real problem, but he's not really trying to fix it, we don't think. Or like maybe he was at first, but then the money started coming in, and he's like, I'll keep it for myself.
Yeah.
And then he starts getting all these money from kids. Schools are like supporting him and running like drives and stuff to get extra money. And then people start asking where the money is, and next thing you know, he's running down the Vegas Strip naked and jerking off. So that's just the next step for this guy.
Yeah.
Man, I remember posting about Coney 2012 on my Facebook page.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I think everyone did.
Anytime there was a trend, you were all over it.
Yeah,
they were showing that Invisible Children like video. They were showing that in our schools.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "We got to do something," and like it was a real thing. Like Joseph Coney was a real person. The child soldiers were real. It was all real. It was just the guy presenting it to us was a shyster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real problem that people had no intentions of actually fixing.
No, I need to delete that post. I think I gotta go back to Facebook.
Just delete your Facebook at this point.
How are you on Facebook?
No, it's for memories. You still keep the app for memories.
No, you keep it so that you can try to find old pictures of your classmates and then take them because you're a freak.
No, I don't. Not like that. No, because don't you have like old memories of photos and of yourself, and it's like a digital. Okay. Well, Malcolm.
That's what Google Photos is for.
True. But you want to see who liked your photo back in the day.
No, I don't care about that.
Okay.
Do you think it's worth it for me to try and figure out what my old Facebook password is to get in to delete the account?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Maybe work.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to log into mine and be like, "Hey, everyone, thanks for all the birthday wishes over the past 12 years. I'm sorry you didn't catch on that I clearly wasn't seeing them, but I'm officially deleting this now. Goodbye."
Damn. I think I poked you. Remember that thing?
Today?
No, like there's that feature on Facebook. You poke people.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't think I ever poked a single person in my life.
I poked someone who I liked like 400 times. They poked back, but she moved on.
Bro, don't say that on the podcast. That's
hey, we get real for a Disney Channel original movie.
400 times.
Yeah, it was for fun.
400 times in a row.
Not in a row, but over time.
Every day.
Yeah,
every day for 400 days. You would log on and be like, "Oh, this guy, he poked me again."
That's what kids do back in when we had Facebook.
If you were a high school kid, that's good. If this was last week,
No. This was high school.
All right, you get
Um,
a. I don't want to say you get a pass, but you get a. You're not gonna get condemned for that.
Okay. Wait, you're learning new things about me. After we know
I've
each
learned
other.
a lot about you today.
Yes, sir. Well, let's get back to here. Malcolm then sends a special version. Oh, I already said that. Oh yeah, he also tells that all the children's parents have to watch that night's lesson with them. Scott brings the special disc home, but accidentally runs into a girl in class, Amy, who he secretly likes. I thought it was Rosie, but this is another girl.
No, Rosie's from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, yes. They end up mixing the disc, and instead, Amy's mother subconsciously robs a bank and goes to the Earth Protector's new warehouse. I thought it was funny when she was smiling and she said, "This is a holdup," and it just zooms out. I thought it was a great scene there. Well, Scott calls his grandparents about the situation. Grandma said, "We gotta call the Fantastic Four or Superman." Grandpa said, "Superman? I'm better than him." He took off his clothes and says, "Go ahead, Skyler."
Condor.
"I am Condor." And he goes, "Condor." And he says, up and away.
Starts ripping his clothes off, and and his wife is like, "Hope you don't expect me to sew those buttons back on."
After tying Amy's mom up, the Earth Protectors use her as bait to lure Scott's parents and brother to the warehouse. Once there, they were captured with aluminum foil, a superhero's only weakness. Scott, along with Amy and his best friend Randy, head to the warehouse to save his family from being brainwashed by Malcolm to becoming supervillains who will only obey anything he says. Scott says you don't need superpowers to help people. And that's true. That is true. I like that line. All right,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's a good line. All right, we're getting right into the end here. When they get there, they are helped by Nina, who has become disgusted by Malcolm's antics. Nina tries to replace the bad disc with the good one, but is stopped by one of Malcolm's henchmen.
That's so funny. Because she's like, "This is my moment to everything that I've been doing is wrong, and I'm gonna help fix it." And then the bad guy's like, "Hold on a second, boss. Just kill her too."
Is again terrible person.
Her effort meant nothing.
Nothing at all. This is my favorite scene in the movie. We get to see Randy to become crazy, or he calls himself the Randiator. What are you guys' thoughts about his this scene here?
This is just so done at this point.
Okay, my favorite part where he goes like this. Sorry for the listeners, but for video, he goes like this. I always laugh at that part.
This is why he deserved that soccer ball earlier.
Okay, yeah. Most likely. Great scene. I love that scene. Scott has literally less than a second to stop the machine from permanently reprogramming his family. He uses a soccer ball to smash the main computer, stopping it with only milliseconds to spare. I'll say goal. That was a great kick.
Yeah, it was a good kick. That's why he should be captain of the soccer team.
I agree. His family then easily defeats and captures the villains, and Silver Charge uses his power to literally burn away their memories of the heroes' identities.
God, this guy's scary.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Abrar. How would you rather lose your memory? How would you rather a superhero take your memory away? By this guy using electricity to like burn your neurons in your brain?
No.
Or Superman to kiss you?
Which
Superman can do
Superman?
that?
Chris Reeve Superman. He on multiple occasions kissed Lois Lane and took her memories away.
Yes, but is that the one that I have to kiss, or can I
Yes.
kiss any Superman?
Mm,
I mean, he's still cute, but
here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Superman, and you can. The rest is up to you.
all right, I'm gonna kiss David Cornsweet.
That's
If it doesn't take my memories away, whatever. I just had a good day.
I'll say I will kiss George Reeves. Be like me. They call me Doc.
That's a sad one to kiss.
Why? What happened? Did he die? No, not die, but of course he died.
Did he die?
No.
Bro, I'm going to say famously he died.
Okay. How did he die?
Suicide.
Let's not get into that. Let's
Okay,
continue.
Okay, that must be bad then. Well, of course, by burning the brain cells. Also, Amy admits she likes Scott and asks him to a dance, but Adam erases her memories of everything that happened. That's kind of like a girl likes you and now she forgets that she liked you.
She didn't forget that she liked him. She's gonna forget that she said, "Let's go to the dance." But yeah, that'd be funny because they say like, if she liked you then, she'll like you now. And
That's
then
true.
he's gonna be like, "Do you want to go to the dance?" She says, "Ew, no," in front of her friends. Scott goes home crying, and he becomes the Lex Luthor supervillain.
No. Oh, noon. Well, Scott manages to get his family to agree to let Randy to keep his memories as having a friend
Why?
to talk about.
Why Randy?
As having a friend to talk to about
this
his
friend.
Family
Different
who
friend.
relieves stress.
Different guy.
Hey, Randy, I see again. I see why you hate Randy.
You're like,
would've-
I love Randy because you are Randy. That's why.
I'm Randy.
That's why. That's why you relate to Randy.
I love Randy. Come on now. I know he's a little annoying, but we gotta love this kid. Everyone returns to normal. For the family, Grandpa Condor came in late.
But he showed up. And that's what matters.
He showed up. Yeah, absolutely. Amy doesn't seem to remember she liked Scott, but they go back to somewhat hating each other. Although when it's time to pick their team captain for soccer, she chooses Scott instead of herself, surprising him. He chooses her, and they end up as co-captains, with Randy asking Scott about superpowers. Randy is left impressed that Green Hornet was one of Scott's guests at his birthday party. That is the end of the movie.
Can you imagine like that being your next door to fame club? Is like Green Hornet was at my birthday party. We couldn't get Kato, but we got Green Hornet.
Something.
Seth Rogen.
No. But yeah, now we went through this great movie, at least for me. Skyler, now I need to know, what do you think about this?
I don't hate it.
Okay. That's good to hear.
It's not offensive. At times it's annoying, but it's harmless. But I don't know if I would watch it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it 2.5 out of 5.
Oh, damn. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
I know you did.
And what about you, Daniel?
Hey, that's only a 1.5 away, right? If you think about it
That's
that
true.
way.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I enjoyed it. Like it's cute, but I agree that I don't think I would like watch it again unless I had a specific occasion to. You know? Like if it was we're gonna watch a bunch of Disney Channel movies, then like maybe I would watch it again.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, you know what I want to watch.
I just don't think it had any standout moments that weren't just like George Jefferson jumps through the thing and yells Condor, or the little annoying kid shakes his head a little bit. I just don't think it has any like when we talk about Smart House, where we're like you know, the house was jumping.
Oh yeah.
And there's that great like scene where the dad connects with the son. And then we watched Brink, and Brink had some all right stuff in it.
And Brink, I mean, he was gonna smooch the villain. That was my big takeaway.
They needed to kiss. I didn't want anyone to kiss in this. I just wanted to go to bed. No, that's
Well,
it's fine. It's harmless. There's nothing. It is what it is. That's my review of this one.
I think when I watched this as a kid, I was like, man, this is a black superhero family. I was like, this is new to me. Like I never seen this before.
Sure.
Uh,
I definitely don't want to take that away.
Yeah,
Like
it's
seeing the black family.
Yeah, representation is there.
I think Disney Channel, when it wanted to, was very good at that.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Getting that representation across, and that's definitely something. So that points.
Yeah. I thought that was great. I think that's why I really liked it, because I was like maybe relating to it. I've never seen that before.
And for the record, I like the kid. The parents are fine. Obviously, I love the grandpa. I didn't like the little sister, but that's just because she was the ultimate brat little sister.
And
I didn't like Randy. The villains are just kind of lame. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, I just want to do it for this month because this month is Black History Month. I was like, I think it'd be a great way to show this movie to other people. Maybe they'll like it.
If you've never seen Up and Away, there's no reason not to watch it, I guess.
No, watch it. It's a good-hearted, fun movie.
It gets a brown boy recommendation.
Oh, huge! This movie was very nostalgic for me. At least from seeing the
that's good.
The costume, at least. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do have an interesting fact for this movie. As we mentioned many times here, is interesting. For the time, the movie makes very references to other superheroes from Marvel and DC and other publications, implying that those heroes exist in this universe. Ironically, Disney would purchase Marvel 9 years after this movie. Was this movie the influence of Disney buying Marvel?
No.
Oh.
I'm sure 9 years later they forgot that they had made this.
I'm not going to dignify that question with a response.
Well, of course, we are doing the illuminating. We are. What am I trying to say here? We are
ranking?
not ranking, but we're going head to toe from the last Disney movie to this movie to the dads. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
So we said Smart House Dad beats Brink's dad.
Yeah.
Now my question is, who do we like now? Is it Smart House Dad or Bronze Eagle up and away dad?
Now, Bronze Eagle's a good dad. He's got a good family. He takes care of them, and he's a hero.
Hero.
I'm still inclined to say the Smart House Dad because I felt he was a little bit more charming, and also, well, maybe I'm misremembering or just not remembering certain things. I'm thinking about in this one where he didn't steal the money, the son.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't steal the money, and also I think this thing is brainwashing people, which was true, and they just didn't believe him. I'm like, come on, guys. You're the superheroes here. Batman would have figured this out. And if Superman exists in this world, I assume a version of Batman does as well. So, I don't know. I don't want to definitively say Smart House Dad's still on the top, but if I could get input from you guys.
What about you, Daniel?
Yeah, I would leave Smart House Dad on top, and then this one would go in the middle. I think he's a better dad than Brink Dad.
I would say that he's better than Brink Dad, who hated his son.
All right. Yeah, I do love Bronze Eagle, but the way the dad acted in Smart House, he is like the number one dad. At least as in acting wise. I cannot
imagine he'll stay on top forever. We've got some movies with some dads coming up.
Oh yeah, we got some Disney dads coming up here. All right, Smart House Dad beats Up and Away Dad. I like that. All right, the next time you will hear us from we'll be talking about March, right? Luck of the
Yeah.
Irish.
All right, that
Um,
one I'll be enthusiastic about.
all right, but Skyler, where can they find you, man?
Oh, wait, before that, Abrar.
Okay.
Not only we're doing it in March, St. Patrick's Day, right? Irish
Yes.
leprechauns, right?
Yes.
But what else do they do in that movie? They play basketball. March Madness. It all fits. It all fits, man.
That movie knows what's coming in the future.
Oh, it knows what's up.
Fantastic.
Where can they find me? You guys can find me on Blue Sky at Skyler 8-bit if you so choose. I've also got a podcast with some other guy named Ready Set Replay, and that other guy can tell you where to find that right now.
All right, Daniel, what about you, man?
You can find Ready Set Replay on Twitter at RSR_POD, or you can just go and find us on Spotify and YouTube and subscribe/follow, review, and comment.
Yes, please comment and like Ready Set Replay. They do an amazing job there. I just
Thank you.
listened to their Fantastic Four trailer episode, and that was great. They had a lot of good insight there. Please check them out.
And you definitively say that NBA 2K11 is the best one.
NBA 2K11. It is on the whatever that list was, top video games. It is. I played it a few times, but I know why it is up there. Is because of those things I mentioned.
So you don't necessarily think it's the best one, but you know why people say it.
Yes, and I do agree with that.
All right, interesting.
But yeah, I had like 2K9 and then 2K. I didn't get the other 2Ks until 2K16, and then I got the rest. But I skipped that area.
You know what's so cool? In our Ready Set Replay episode, we posed this question of like, why do people say it's the best? And we've answered it on a different show. Brown Boy Wonders is the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh,
to our Mandalorian.
Hey, I love to be a sequel to something, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, yeah, you can follow this podcast where you're listening to on Spotify. You see me right now. I'm on video. Please check me out, like and comment and subscribe, all that stuff. But if you don't want to see me, I'm on audio as well on Apple Podcasts. Like me there, follow me there, and I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky at Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Other than that, guys, let's have a great Disney movie channel, original movie. I don't know what I'm saying. Bye.
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.